Hi everyone, I'm Peggy Rometo and this is the Weekly Wake Up. Okay, so let's slow down, let's go into that heart space, close our eyes, bring our focus and our intention inward. We do an exhalation and then we drop down to the center of the earth and we breathe in white light with our imagination all the way up through the body, up to the crown of the head, and then exhale all the way back down to the body. Each time letting go, becoming more relaxed. And as we relax, we actually feel like we're dropping into the body, becoming more aware and more present. And when we're aware and present, we're really in our body. And that allows us then to perceive information. We can feel the little nuances then of information as it bubbles up, whether it's true, whether it's not true, whether it's right or whether it's not. And then there's the knowing that comes in, the part of ourselves that just knows. We don't know how we know, but we just know. And that's that part of ourselves that is always connected to the divine. So let's go ahead and practice together, just relaxing. Extra energy here today. Okay, and then sometimes using your breath, using your voice as I just did that, right? When you do something like that, just helps you to get underneath any anticipation or any excitement about it. So using your voice can also help you to drop further into the body too. Okay, so let's go ahead. Everybody do that cleansing breath, the clearing breath, the grounding breath, whatever you want to call it. Get into the space, and then we'll open to see what's available for us this week. Okay. So interesting, like there's a lot of tension in the heart space. I'll just call it tension because I don't want to add to any story that you might have about it or don't have about it. But it's just a lot of people are dealing with some difficult things or concerns or internal pressures. And I'm just feeling that in the form of a constriction in the heart. So all there is to do is kind of open to it, release it, right? And so do you notice that you do that automatically when we have a bad phone call or we get some bad news or we're frustrated with our partner or you're arguing with a sales clerk or it's like, right? We do that automatically. We just push the breath out. So it's an automatic release that our body knows to do that releases that pent up energy so that we can get to the information. So this week, some of you may have some, events or moments or things going on in your life where you're feeling squeezed or you're feeling pressured or you're feeling like, I've got to make decisions or I've got to make something happen. It's being experienced as a little bit of a squeezing. So if that's happening for you right now, just bring your awareness to it. Don't make it a big deal. Just notice it and relax into it. And as you relax into it, it may open up. It may give you more information, but don't resist it, right? It's just life and it's just an awareness. And as you let it go, more information can come in. So there is a circular energy that's coming up that is a creative energy that's opening doors for you to be different, to think outside of the box, to creatively express yourself differently. There's a lot of lessons being shown to a lot of people, and you have choices. Do I go down the same path or do I do something different, right? So you want to make sure that you aren't repeating the past, that you aren't repeating a behavior from the past, whether it's you supporting somebody else in a way that's not healthy, whether it's you and yourself, whether it's you and a coworker. Just notice there's repeating patterns that are going to be shown to you this week that you can release and choose differently. So this is a creative energy that allows you to creatively live life differently and live life more powerfully and outside of the restriction that you've had in the past the choices that you've had in the past. This is new energy, new opportunity to be different, express yourself different, and therefore have life be different. So it's a good energy, it's a creative energy, and if you allow that energy in, it might be a little scary because you have to make different choices. You have to let go of what you know. You have to let go of things that you want but may not be good for you, like that sort of energy, right? And whenever we do things like that, whenever we take a step in faith, like I'm going to do this even though I don't want to do it, but it's good for me, there's something so much better beyond that. That's so, it can be anything from, I've got to give up wheat because it's not good for me. I'm allergic to it, right? And when you eat it, you bloat, you get sinus stuff, all this stuff that can happen. But when you give it up, suddenly you feel better, right? That's just a small example. There's big examples, right? From addiction in relationships to addiction with drugs and alcohol. We want them, but they're not good for us, right? It's addiction to spending. We want it, but it's not good for us. All those different things. So this week you're going to be given some space or information around what's not good for you and a new way of being, right? A new way, a new coping mechanism or ability to create life differently so that you're not afraid to let go of that path so a new path can open up. And what's great about this energy is you have no idea what's behind it in a good way. Like your idea of what you think you're going to end up is going to be different than what it actually is. It's even going to be better. And it's hard to trust that when you're taking a step, right? Like that leap of faith. But what I'm being shown is the ground will come up to meet you. You take the step and the universe is going to come up and support you. So there may be something that you're being asked to give up early in the week or this week, but there's creative energy with it that will help you to support you in letting go, in creating differently, and feeling good about the process. Okay, let's see what else is in store for us this week. Patience. You'll also be given a lot of patience with yourself and with others or for others. And there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room in the energy this week for us to expand and to feel good about ourselves and to kind of feel that space with our essence, right? And so what does that mean? As I talk about it, maybe you guys can feel the energy coming up and expanding out. It just means, how sometimes you have to fight to be heard or you have to put your elbows out because people are crowding you. That's not happening this week at all. You have a lot of room to change and be different. There's no pressure other than the pressure you are pushing on yourself. So just be aware that you have room, you have elbow room to say no or in your own time or for your own needs, right? So this is an opportunity for you to be able to be seen and heard in a way that's authentic for you. All right, let's see what else is available for us this week. There's also a lot of freedom and some fun happening this week. There is an expansive energy, so there's a lot of play happening, a lot of creation, spiritual awakenings, spiritual openings. There's, and when you have that big energy like that with the spiritual awakenings and spiritual openings and just this vastness, you can also have too much of a good thing, right? And then there can be the chaos. It's like having a cup of your favorite tea and spilling it over, right? Filling the cup too full and it spills over and it creates chaos. It creates a mess. So just be careful this week, when you're playing and when you're supporting yourself and you're having fun, that you don't tip the scales and go too far, have too much fun and it turns into chaos, right? Or you're forcing issues. This is not a week to force issues. It's very much in the flow and relaxing and going with the flow. And if you just relax into it, you're going to have the perfect amount of fun, the perfect amount of everything that you need. People, resources, communication. It's just flowing. So there's a real flow to the week as long as you're letting go and surrendering and not trying to control it too much. The more you try and control it, the more challenges there are or opportunities for that blowing up in your face or that, as I said, creating chaos in your life because you're not surrendering, you're not letting go. Your ego's trying to drive it. It's because I want it like this. I don't want it like that, right? So when you find yourself wanting too much, just let go. Let go and let the universe deliver it for you. All right, let's see if there's any surprises in store for us this week. Okay, there's a real, especially towards the weekend, like just an ease, an opening and an ease to be able to enjoy yourself. I know we do have a new moon on August 30th, and so there's an opening there. Just want to be careful with any critical energy, you know, being too self-critical on yourself or being too critical of people around you. But other than that, it's just like there's just this opening of ease and excitement and freedom. And some of you may be meeting new people. There's a lot of fun in store, connections. A lot of people may be traveling. It's just a lot of movement, a lot of energy, a lot of new communication, a lot of new connections. You may also find out some things that may be hard to hear. So in other words, there may be things that people are honest with you about that may feel like, oh, I really didn't want to know that much, or that hurt too much, right? So there may be some honest information that's being shared with you this week that's not exactly comfortable, but is at the same time going to forward you in your growth. And sometimes that's what a spiritual growth is about, right? We learn things about ourselves that maybe it's like uncomfortable to hear, but once we know it, now we have something, we have an opportunity to shift it. So some of you may be getting messages like that this week, and just take them all in stride, right? Like, we're all human. We all have, you know, two sides to us, right? That dark and that light, that shadow, whatever you want to call it. And you just want to play with it. You don't need to get stuck in it. Just having an awareness allows you to be able to actually make changes. So some of you may see some aspects of that yourself this week, or they may be pushed in your face by a lover or a best friend, right? So you just want to be aware of an opportunity to grow and learn and shift and share, because it's all here this week. And at the same time, it's really freeing and it's really fun. So there's this big opening in the universe to learn about yourself, to enjoy yourself, and to not get caught up in the small stuff. So absolutely, this is a really kind of free-spirited energy. And at the same time, in the beginning of the week, I feel the constriction of the fear of like, you know, I've got to get something done, but yet there's this really big energy that's expansive. So it's a little bit of push and pull. So that's why I'm saying just relaxing into whatever's going on for you or in your life is going to give you a greater sense of freedom to be able to choose appropriately and to be able to be different in the moment, whatever it's calling for, right? So just being present so you can meet your own needs. All right, you guys, have an amazing week. Enjoy it. Here we have Labor Day on Monday, so we actually have a long 3-day weekend in the US, in the States. So a lot of people are traveling, a lot of people are having fun, maybe seeing family or friends or meeting new people. So safe travels to everybody. Enjoy your long holiday weekend. I look forward to connecting with you again next week. But actually, you know what? I just realized I may not be in cell service, so we'll see if I can do it and post it sooner. So I will do my best. If I'm able to, I will do my best. Otherwise, it might be 2 weeks, but I'll try and get something done sooner before I lose cell reception, because I will be out in the middle of nowhere. All right, you guys, have an amazing week, everybody, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week.